Hey everybody, this is Sis. I am on my next video in my series about Medicare and how interesting Medicare is when you reach that age. I wanted to cover a couple of things. I am sharing my own personal experience here and my perspectives concerning Medicare, healthcare. It's totally for information purposes and should not be considered medical or financial advice. Medicare policies vary, and what works for one person may not work for another. So always consult with your healthcare provider, financial advisor, Medicare representative for personalized guidance in this. There'll be 3 or 4 different things that we'll be speaking of. One thing I want to say is that some people I know are blessed with having a healthcare provider who actually gives a shit about them, excuse my language. And this is important. Those are rare, it seems to me, anymore, because what happens for me and also with many people that I've been discussing this with is they go in to see their provider. They're on a limited time frame, probably 10, 15 minutes. They meet the medical assistant first, quick vital signs. She'll ask, or he will ask, do you have any problems? Is there anything you want to talk to the doctor about? Then the doctor comes in and says, everything okay? They may even go through have you had any falls? Do you have any depression? Things like that, which are just, why is that relevant right now? When I come into the doctors, I'm taking time out of my schedule to be there. And even though it isn't always cash out of my pocket, I still paid for my Medicare. And so I'm concerned that they're often not really hearing us. And I'm sorry for them. The providers, I know, having been in medicine long enough to know people when they first started out to now that they're retiring, that their heart was in it and still is in it, but their hands are tied. And so they have a certain quota they have to meet in order to maintain their licenses, be okay to work in certain hospitals and in certain environments. So kudos to them for sticking it out, but it's really frustrating for us because we are trying to maintain our health care and maintain our health. One of the things that I find scary is, as I've said before, is reading charts are really a scary thing. Because even if you mention to them, the provider, that 25 years ago you were depressed, they're going to put that on your file as history of depression. Now, they don't ask you what was going on. They're not saying what was going on in your life. I'm so sorry your spouse died and you tried everything, but you resorted to taking some medication for a short period of time. No, it stays in your file forever. It will become what we call a CPT code, which fills in a certain governmental need. And so now all of a sudden, when anybody looks at your chart, they're going to see history of depression. Maybe it's not at the top anymore, it's at the very bottom, but it's there. So what does that do to us? For me, that makes me afraid to share anything. Having a fall. Well, yeah, I had a fall. I stumbled over some rocks and I had a fall. The minute you say that, it doesn't matter that there was something in the way or anything. You are automatically on the fall precautions list. So every time you come in, they're going to ask you, are you having any falls? So is that to assume that as we get older, we all have falls? Some of us do, some of us don't. I found that when I started using my Life Pro vibration table platform, my stumbling stopped because I was getting stronger in my balance ability. So that's how I took care of it. Sometimes I think we don't need to share everything with them. And I can tell you that unfortunately some people do, and there are pages of problems on a perfectly fine person. You look at them and you say, wow, you're healthy, you hike, once a week, you go to the gym, you eat right, you're in perfect health. Yet I read your history and I see all this stuff on there because you just mentioned it in the doctor's office and it goes onto your chart as a problem. Boomers are healthy. Not 100% of my age group is in great health, but I would say 80% of them are, and the reason is we chose how we were going to take care of our health. I took a lot of supplements, and I still do, and I think that's why I am healthy today. I may not be as healthy as some, but I feel like I'm really healthy, and I'm grateful for the body I have and the health that I have today. So I guess It's scary to think that anything you say will now be put on your history, these long histories, and that the medications that we take may also be contributing to our lack of health. Just me saying. So anyway, I hope that helps today. If you like this video, please comment below. And also, be sure and let me know if you have questions that I could maybe help you with on that. Medicare is a wonderful tool that we were given many years ago, but has, in my opinion, been abused and manipulated by all. When you think about, I was 17 the first time I paid for my Medicare and Social Security. 17. Do you think that money, I should have some say in what it's used for? Well, that's what I have to say today. I love you and have a great day.